we're going to win.
All right,
Israel and the United States, you just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks meaning what?
We're going to blow the hell out of these people. This regime is in a death row now. It is going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace like no other time. We're going to have prosperity unlike anyone could ever imagine. Peace brings prosperity. You can't do it by talking. The Democrats criticize this operation. They didn't do a damn thing. These men and women in the military should make us all proud. To our allies, step up, get our air bases out of Spain. They're not reliable. Move all those airplanes to a country that would let us use them when we're threatened by a regime like Iran. To our friends in Spain, man, you've lost your way. I don't want to do business with you anymore. I want our air bases out of Spain into a country that will let us use them. To our Arab friends, I've tried to help you construct a new Mideast. You need to up your game here. I can't go to South Carolina and say we're fighting and you won't publicly fight. What you're doing behind the scenes, that has to stop. The double dealing of the Arab world when it comes to this stuff needs to end. I go back to South Carolina. I'm asking them to send their sons and daughters over to the Mideast. What I want you to do in the Mideast, our friends in Saudi Arabia and other places, step forward and say, this is my fight too. I join America. I'm publicly involved in bringing this regime down. If you don't, you're making a great mistake and you're going to cut off the ability to have a better relationship with the United States. I say this as a friend.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 6. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. Rise to brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson. And Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. And I just want to go into this article real quick. And this article is dated March 9th, 2026. And I believe today is the 10th. Okay, so this was yesterday. And it's titled, Lindsey Graham calls for national draft. Fighting and dying for Israel is an American highest honor. That's what this guy just said. Okay, and he's a senator. A sitting senator in the United States of America. Okay, it says Graham has made himself the very loud and very public face of the war effort. Look no further than his tour of the Sunday show circuit yesterday, in which the arch neoconservative could readily be mistaken for any number of Israeli cabinet officials who are desperate to ignite World War III for their religious beliefs. Graham appeared on the Sunday shows after Israel bombed several oil facilities and water desalination plants, igniting a massive firestorm in Tehran. As the flames engulfing the Iranian capital were being put out by toxic rains, Graham rejoiced, praising Netanyahu and saying, Donald J. Trump saved the world from real chaos. Thank God Trump did this. Okay? And this guy, me personally, I have a very strong disdain for this nigga here. All right. And a nigga called Lindsey, man. Anyway, so he's been pushing this war rhetoric for a while now. And I believe there's an interview, all right, this was very recent actually, where he was interviewed and then he was basically parading this whole war shit. And he said that he's gonna go back to his state and he's going to speak to the boys and girls, people's sons and daughters to go to war, okay, to go overseas and go sacrifice for Israel, basically, okay. And now you got a lot of people actually who are being deployed. All right, there's a corner in our camp. You know what I'm saying? He got personal people that are actually being deployed right now, okay, as we speak. Okay, or being prepared to be deployed. I have a friend as well. He's one of the guys that we work with. All right, he was telling me, he said his actual woman, his Eve. All right, she was, I believe, in the military. All right, she said that she's also being deployed. And they give them all these strict guidelines of, you can't have any communication with your family, for at least, 2 or 3 months. Okay. And they're going to be going on some type of preparation for 2 weeks before they go into that 2-3 month, hiatus, if you will. Okay. And, then they're going to be deployed. So I told him, I said, yo, man, kiss her goodbye. She ain't coming back, man. If she come back, she's going to be in a body bag, bro. She's just going to end up as a statistic and you never going to hear from her. And he was like, man, I hope not, bro. I hope not, bro. I hope when she come back, she just going to be in panties and a bra. I said, boy, look at here. You'd be lucky if you ever see her coming back. But he said it. He said, hey, man, it's crazy how we're living in a country where Congress hasn't declared war officially, but yet you got people being deployed to go to war as if it's already been declared, right? So what's going on? He said, if this president could do stuff like this, then what can't he do? Okay, what can't he do? Because there's no one stopping him. And I told him, I said, the Most High is setting this all up so he could be the one to stop him. I said, remember when Pharaoh was denying Moses and Aaron, when the Lord sent Moses and Aaron to go tell him, let my people go? The Lord told Moses specifically that he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. Okay. And every time Pharaoh's heart was hardened, it seemed like he was invincible. He was talking shit. He pushed back. He would say, oh, who's your God? Who's Yahweh that I should listen to what you guys got to say? Oh, get back to your burdens. You guys are, you're getting these people distracted. See, you pop here talking all this, let my people go shit. Now the people are distracted, So that's the mindset. It was the Lord, all right, hardening Pharaoh's heart so that he could be most proud, so he could be destroyed. Okay, and that's the same thing you're seeing now with the American government. They keep on, especially with Hegseth, that little pompous fuck. All right. And he's also one of them. He's also one of those people. I believe he's been biomedically bioengineered. He's a bioengineered human product. All right. he's got all kinds of, he's been in a lab. Let me just put it like that. Okay. I don't know if your brothers have seen, the show. It's on Hulu called The Beauty. All right. I believe Hegseth is a byproduct of that kind of procedure. You know what I'm saying? Because art imitates life. If they're showing it to you, all right, in a show or in a movie or in a cartoon or whatever the case may be, it comes from somewhere. Okay. It comes from somewhere. All right. So if they want you to see it, that means it's somewhere that they had to get that information from. So the premise of that show, all right, I'm going to get back to this article. The premise of that show is basically people who are able to take a certain form of injection, all right, and it changes them. I'm just leave it at that. And then it could happen through sexual intercourse and so on and so forth. It will change you. Okay. But, check it out, if you want. But I think it's a very interesting show. All right, depicts a lot of things that we see today. A lot of people that we think we see today are not actual real people. And Hegseth is one of them. I believe he's an old ass nigga who went through those procedures to look the way he looks now. But that's just me. All right. So let's go back to this article here. It says, on the joint war led by Israel and the U.S., Graham crowd that we should just wait and see what comes in the next 2 weeks. We're going to blow the hell out of these people, he pledged, baying for blood in what was a not so veiled encouragement of war crimes. There's a quote now, when this regime goes down, we're going to have a new Middle East, he imagined, adding in a moment of raw honesty, quote, we're going to make a ton of money. He noted that Venezuela and Iran have 31% of the world's oil reserves. Okay, and I believe that video, all right, where he was talking that shit. I'm gonna add it in post-production so y'all can watch it as well. All right, it says Graham also bragged about colluding with Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu to manipulate President Donald Trump into invading Iran. Okay, and Trump is noticing that now. All right, he's giving speeches now. You could tell that he's doing the blame game, if you will. It's the same dude that popped up on TV and literally said, he said this. He said, oh, we blew them up so much, they're all dead. They're all gone. They're all dead. Some of them actually, you could see them. They're walking around right now with blown up limbs and blown up arms and messed up faces. Meanwhile, the very first sentence before that, they were dead. They were blown up and they were dead. But meanwhile, they're dead, but they're walking around with limbs blown off and faces. These people are clowns, man. And they say these things, and people everyone just goes about their day like it never even happened. Most people don't even know these things are happening. You see, it says here, and mind you, there's a lot of independent journalists giving out information about what's actually going on in Tel Aviv. Apparently, there's a heavy censorship going on over there, stopping people from sharing what's actually going on in the land of Israel right now. And they saying Iran is tearing them up, man. I mean, we talking about destroying them with a sword destruction. Okay? Blowing them up left and right. There's rumors going around that Bibi Yahoo might be out of here. Okay? And I remember this a couple of videos ago, I mentioned it. You know, that these people are not invincible. The Lord could just take your ass out. You niggas come up here and you talk all this pompous ass talk like you know what I'm saying? It's just funny. It's funny. It really is. All right? You know the history, because clearly y'all know the history. That's why y'all keep playing this biblical games. You know, keep on putting, you know, your names in there like you're the Israelites and all these different things and Amalek and this. We know what y'all doing, man. We know what you're up to. Okay, but it's not going to work because the world is waking up to who you really are as the Edomites. All right? So you could play this game of we're God's chosen people and the Jewish nation and all this corny shit. The world is waking up to who you are as the Edomites. Okay? Amalek, Edom, everybody knows it, man. Who the true Jews are. Everybody, they know, man. They know the world has woken up, all right? And they've accepted the reality. It's only you devils that keep on propagating this BS that somebody's after you and this and that. Nah. That's just your nature. You go around terrorizing the world, but yet everyone's supposed to look at you like you're the good guy. Everyone is supposed to allow you to be in their inner circles. That's crazy work. And the only way this is going to be resolved is by what? Thermonuclear fire and destruction. You done pissed off the whole world, man. All right, Obadiah, the book of Obadiah tells you, I believe the second verse, it says what? The Lord has made thee small, thou art greatly despised. Okay, let me see if I can get that real quick. All right. This is the book of Obadiah, verse 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Who is that talking about? It's talking about Edom, man. Okay, the Lord says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations, you will be greatly despised. Okay, when you get destroyed completely off the face of the map, the whole world is going to rejoice. And we see why they're going to rejoice. Okay, we see why they're going to rejoice. Let's get this real fast. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14. I'll start off at verse 5. It says, the Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Okay, your power is through your military might. Okay, your military armaments. Okay, that's part of the blessing the Lord gave you as the sword. So that's why you go around the world terrorizing the world the way you do. And now it's so evident, man. I'm so happy to see the way things are playing out because the whole world gets to see the shit that for so long, whenever we reported on, they called us conspiracy theorists. We've been saying that America has always been the bad guy, man. Okay? America and Israel, they work together. They are the bad guys. They're the ones who they foment, okay? They create, okay? They fund, they train all these so-called terrorists and all this shit that goes on around the world to bother people, okay? They're the ones behind it. Okay? Verse 6, Isaiah 14:6 says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. That's what you see now. Operation Epic Fury. Operation. Everything is a show for these devils, man. An opera. Operation. I got to show you something. I got to give you something to look at. Right? To bring fear into your hearts. All right, so that way he could also keep on with his manipulation tactics. Because once you're afraid, that's it. He got you. Okay. So you smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, constantly making war against the world. Listen to what Graham is saying, man. We blew them up. Okay, let me go back to this madman's comments. Okay, this red piece of shit. He's just an Edomite. This is how they are. Okay, when the regime goes down, he said, we're going to blow the hell out of these people. What do you mean by that? Baying for blood in what was not a so veiled, not so veiled encouragement of war crimes. So these are all known as war crimes too, man. Okay? It says, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. Okay, because the whole world is witnessing you devils in the forefront committing wickedness and boasting about the wickedness, man. The whole world sees it. And everybody knows that America and Israel are wrong. Even people from MAGA, they see it. And they're like, oh, nah, we ain't. There's a lot of things that I like about this president, but this one right here, nah, man, he messed up, man. We ain't supposed to be, how you gonna bomb another country like that? And they get mad that they bombing you back. You know, America always starting some shit. See, the world sees it, man. Okay? It says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Okay, that's Proverbs 29:2. Okay? When the wicked are in authority, right? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. They mourn, and that's what you're seeing right now. Why do they mourn? Because Esau out here killing people, man, murdering people by the millions. Okay? In the name of, oh, we're protecting ourselves. To protect themselves. Right? It's the same devil that will give you a poison and then tell you it's safe and effective. This devil, man. And you still got jakes that try to defend this shit, talking about, oh, why can't white man can't make it? Oh, y'all preaching hate. You stupid ass niggas, man. Oh man. It says verse 8, it says, yea, the fair trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Right? Sit down, O daughter virgin of the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, come and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Since you were laid down, since you were cut down to the ground. Okay. Since you were cut down to the ground, no feller. A feller is one who cuts down trees. Okay. You devils, so you have the axe. So every tree you see, you cutting it down. Deforestation, quite literally, man. And so many other different tactics that this devil uses to make money, pillaging the earth, ravishing the earth over all her resources, to the point where now he's turned humans into resources. He want to put a C-hip in you, all right, so you could power up his technological AI world. Like, it's just sick shit, man. But it's the devil for you, okay? And you're going to constantly keep being exposed, all right? Everything you're saying right here is the book of Psalm 64. Let's get that real quick. Right? Psalm 64:8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay? All that see them. That's why it's so they don't want anyone to see them. That's why they're pushing so hard for censorship. Because with censorship, you could do things out in the open, but if it's not being communicated, people can't see it, then you're good. Right? You can always manipulate the information. You can always doctor the information. You can always push disinformation and misinformation. They do that shit. And then when you expose that bullshit that they're doing, they deem what you doing as exposing them as misinformation and disinformation. That's wicked as all hell, man. Okay? And that's one of the reasons why the Lord is going to destroy America, Babylon the Great, and bring these devils all the way down to the ground, man. Okay? Because that's where they belong. The basis of men. Don't you forget, the book of Daniel says that what? That the saints, all right, shall take the kingdom and possess it. All right? So there's nothing you could do about this. It's over. Okay? The earth needs a new management. Point blank, period. All these mad niggas running around here causing harm, pushing for war left and right, telling you openly, straight up, blatantly, look, you're going to have to go fight and sacrifice your lives for Israel. And we're going to make a lot of money doing that. These are niggas that are not being arrested? Shit. It says, according to Graham, he spent months lobbying, holding private conversations with foreign leaders, and coordinating media pushes to persuade the president to authorize strikes against Iran. Graham told the Wall Street Journal that the campaign started just after Trump won the 2024 presidential election or selection, when the two went golfing. It says the Journal reported that Graham would repeatedly harass senior White House aides to the point that they called him an annoying, crazy uncle. He does sound annoying. He need to get slapped in the side of his face one day, man. Okay? It says Graham also ran counter to Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, who repeatedly pushed for a more peaceful resolution to the conflict. It says, quote, "I said they don't want to deal," Graham told the news outlet. "They're not trying to buy a house. They're trying to burn your house down. No, you the one who's doing that. Okay? You damn devil, you." It says in an interview, Graham boasted about how he went to the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and revealed that the U.S. might begin attacks. Quote, "I went to MBS to say, okay, I think this is going down," end quote. The South Carolina senator, oh, there you go, South Carolina, damn, right? Also met with Netanyahu and allegedly coached him on how to coax the president into launching an attack. It says, quote, "They'll tell me things our own government won't tell me," Graham said about one of the many trips to Israel. Graham also revealed that he worked with retired Army General Jack Keane and conservative columnist Mark Thiessen to make the bait irresistible. Okay, so these niggas are just coming out, just telling the whole world, all right, they're conniving, sniveling plans. Okay, they're wicked ass plans, man. All right, but ultimately, what happens with the Lord? What did the Lord say about all these plans? Let's get that real quick. Let's get this real quick. Where we at? Right here. This is the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. It says, "He disappointed the devices of the crafty." Okay? The plans, the schemes, the wicked ass plans and schemes these devils have. Right? The Lord says what the scripture says, what the Lord is going to disappoint me. He's going to frustrate their plans. Everything they try to do is going to come, it's not going to be easy, so to speak. It's always going to come with some type of difficulty. Why? Because the truth is exposing them. It makes it hard for them to control the narrative. You see, everything they try to do, oh, we got to push this narrative out here. Oh man, these people are countering with the truth. How do we counter this? Right? How do we counter this? They have to formulate and come up with this fraudulent attempt to call everything we're doing as disinformation, hate, conspiracy, right? To the point where even they got even in the land of the Jays, they saying that they're coming up with some new laws to ban anyone from teaching anything from the Bible, basically. And the whole thing is to target Christians. What Christians are they talking about? They're not talking about the average, regular, pagan American Christian. Them people are out of here. They're already working the magic on their minds because they believe in Trump. They think God put Trump in all this. They believe this whole ass narrative to them. They talking about the Christians like us, the Hebrew Israelites, the true Christians. Okay, we are the true problem for them. Ain't no regular Christian. They control that shit. All right, they tell you, listen, there are certain things you can and cannot say. Sign this 501c3 and we good. Okay. So they got the Christians, in their pockets. It's the Hebrew Israelites. I mean, we're talking about the ones that didn't sell out, right? All these other camps, for the most part, they all compromised. We're talking about the true prophets of the Lord, starting from our elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. Guess what? They are looking to frustrate what the Lord is doing with us. Okay? And it's perfectly set up that way by the Heavenly Father to create that division, to create that clash, which ultimately leads to that intergalactic war. Once they start coming after us physically, the Lord is going to step in. Okay? It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. The crafty is going into who? When you go into the craft, right? AI, artificial intelligence, anything that has to be done with the hands, artificer, you're crafting something. Okay? So the modern day crafty, right? Modern day crafty are those who are able to be, in the sense of crafty, being shrewd, being, sly, conniving, right? Prudent, so to speak, right? But also they create things with their actual hands. Okay, they're artificial creations, simulations, right? Let's do something based on the real life, but in our own way. Okay, using real life elements and then call it our shit. And it's better than what the original that we took things from to create. Like, it's just crazy, man. Okay, but the Lord said he's going to disappoint their hands that they cannot perform their enterprise, man. All right, their so-called New World Order, where they're going to have the whole entire population microchipped. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So all the plans that they have, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. By 2030, we should have this. By 2030, you own nothing and you be happy. The Lord's going to destroy all that. Now, how they say? How them apples? You know what I'm saying? How about them apples, man? Okay? You damn devils, man. This game is over. All right? And this is how we see the end of America Babylon the Great. Okay? Through her pride, all right, through her hubris, okay, through her miscalculations, all right, through her haughtiness, okay. But anyway, I'm ending off there. Lord willing, you edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.